You're not grown till you leave my house. Isn't how you want to run your family. I have no choice but to respect that. But don't pretend as if it isn't an unpopular sentiment to us.
Sister Zaya Wade, the daughter of Dwayne Wade and the stepdaughter of Gabrielle Union, had social media in a frenzy after posting a photo of her kissing her boyfriend, who was also transgender.
Once Zion came home and said, hey, you called me Zaya and I'm ready to take on this, I looked at it and said, you are a leader. You are a leader, and it's our opportunity to allow you to be a voice.
DL Hughley just went off on Gabrielle Union after she jumped online complaining about people always having something to say about her trans son and her supposedly gay husband. DL clapped back hard, saying Gabrielle needs to stop putting her whole life on display if she doesn't want the public talking about it. He basically said, you can't be mad at the same people you keep feeding information to, but that's not where it ends.
He wants to be a woman. That's why they're getting divorced. She went on Twitter cussing out Diddy and then deleted it because Diddy want to throw Dwayne a divorce freak off.
DL threw some serious shade, hinting that Gabrielle might have been the one who put her stepdaughter Zia's gender transition, and even those rumors about Dwayne Wade's so-called secret lifestyle out there just to keep the spotlight on her. That's wild. It's like he's suggesting she might be chasing attention instead of protecting her family's privacy. And get this whole situation sounds way too familiar. People have been side-eyeing the Wades for years now. Remember when Jaguar Wright claimed there was something strange going on behind the scenes at the Wade household? It's starting to sound like these whispers never really stopped.
Decisions while you and your I want to be a husband convince your child that they need to get the whole trans thing going on now so they can get a Disney contract. And we all know what Disney does to children. Imagine what they do to trans kids.
Then things took a serious turn when Zia's biological mother jumped into the mix and dropped some heavy claims. She said Gabrielle allegedly played a part in pushing her son to become a trans daughter, not out of pure love, but to fit some kind of industry image. That's a huge accusation. And just when you think it can't get more intense, it does. Zia's mother went on to say that Dwayne supposedly used his fame, money, and power to push her completely out of their child's life just because she felt Zia should wait until turning 18 before making any permanent medical decisions. That's a bold claim that's got everyone talking. Now fans online are connecting the dots and saying it's a little too suspicious how many Hollywood stars have trans kids. Some people are even bringing up what Cat Williams once said about strange industry rituals. Things are getting real messy out here.
20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender.
This whole situation is straight up wild, no doubt about it. Let's break it down piece by piece because it's a lot to take in. Everything started when Gabrielle Union once again hopped online, venting that people always have something to say about her family, especially about how she and Dwayne Wade are raising their kids, including their transgender daughter, Zaya. She was clearly frustrated, saying people need to stop trying to control her life and just mind their own business. But here's where it took a turn. DL Hughley wasn't having it at all. He came through with what he called a dose of reality for Gabrielle. He basically said she can't be mad about people commenting on her life when she's the one who keeps putting everything out in public. In his words, if you open the door to your business, you can't be shocked when folks walk right in.
Also disingenuous to believe that people aren't going to have an opinion of that. Yeah. If you make these things public, there are people going to have public assessments of it.
Right.
So I can't fault you for loving your child and protecting them and being proud of them. And it would be equally, I can't fault people for having an opinion.
DL didn't just stop at calling Gabrielle out, he went even deeper with his thoughts. He hinted that he's totally against Gabrielle and Dwayne allowing Zaya to go through with any gender-related surgery before turning 18. According to DL, Zaya was simply too young to make such a huge life-changing decision, and honestly, a lot of people out there agree with him on that point. The internet's been buzzing, with many saying it's a move that should have waited until adulthood. But then, this story takes a much darker twist. Siobhan Funches, Dwayne's ex-wife and Zaya's biological mother, came forward with some shocking claims. She accused Gabrielle and Dwayne of allegedly pushing Zaya to transition for attention and to benefit from industry connections. That's an extremely serious accusation that's got everyone debating what's really going on behind closed doors.
You're not grown till you leave my house. You're not going. If you're still going to a pediatrician, if you need my permission to go to a movie, then I'm going to have a say in what happens. If you believe that isn't how you want to run your family, I have no choice but to respect that. But don't pretend as if it isn't an unpopular sentiment.
To understand the situation better, here's a quick backstory. Siobhan and Dwayne were high school sweethearts who tied the knot in 2002. That same year, they welcomed their first son, Zaire. Then 5 years later, they had their second child, Zion, who's now known as Zaya. Dwayne has mentioned before that Zaya expressed feeling different as early as 3 years old. This whole timeline just makes the conversation even more intense. The real story behind Dwayne and Siobhan's breakup is still super unclear because the details have been twisted and flipped for years. But one thing that is certain is that Dwayne filed for divorce back in 2007, the very same year Zaya was born. And that's when everything started spiraling out of control. Things got ugly fast. What followed was a long and brutal custody battle that had both sides throwing serious accusations.
She was the one who sat down with us as a family and said, hey, I don't think I'm gay, right? I identify myself as a young lady, but she's known that for 9 years.
She's known since she was 3.
She's known since she was 3 years old. This is her life. This is no game to us. We're about protecting her heart. We're about protecting her joy. To do that, we have to support them. We see the smile on our daughter's face. We see the confidence that she's able to walk around and be herself. And that's when you know you're doing right.
Siobhan claimed that Dwayne's powerful legal team allegedly made up stories about her and even had police officers and doctors on their side to make her look unstable. She said Dwayne used his money, fame, and influence to twist the system against her and paint her as an unfit mom. That's some heavy stuff, but things only got messier when Gabrielle Union entered the scene. Once Zaya came out as transgender in 2019, Gabrielle and Dwayne instantly hit the spotlight, doing interview after interview and appearing everywhere to share Zaya's story. It seemed like the media couldn't get enough of their family, but some people started wondering if it was all getting a little too public. After that, Dwayne and Gabrielle started bringing Zaya everywhere. Red carpet events, fashion shows, major public appearances, you name it. They were posting her all over social media and constantly talking about her like she was the only one in the family getting the spotlight. And then suddenly Zaya started landing major modeling deals with brands like Tiffany & Company and Dove. That quick rise to fame had everyone talking nonstop.
Once Zaya, a 12-year-old, came home, and first Zion, everybody, I don't know if everyone knows, originally named Zion born as a boy, came home and said, hey, so I want to talk to you guys. I think going forward, I'm ready to live my truth. And I want to be referenced as she and her. I would love for you guys to call me Zaya. And so internally, now is our job to, one, go out and get information, to reach out to every relationship that we have. My wife reached out to everybody on the cast of Pose. We're just trying to figure out as much information we can to make sure that we give our child the best opportunity to be, her best self.
You know what you mean to this community from what you do with your daughter. So tell me how it feels to be at an event like this where you can share in that love.
It feels pretty amazing because Zaya is my date tonight, and for her to be able to see so many members of her community, of our community, that she's looked up to, that have inspired her, that have held her down, had her back, is pretty huge. And there's not too many moments where I'm, as a parent, where I get to deliver that in this kind of way. So I'm pretty thrilled. I'm just really happy to be here and happy to be a part of sharing the community.
Plenty of fans began giving the side eye, wondering if all that attention was really about celebrating Zaya or about keeping Dwayne and Gabrielle's names buzzing in the media. Some even said it felt like Zaya's whole identity was being boxed into just her transition story, as if that was the only thing that defined her. People couldn't help but question if the spotlight was shining for the right reasons. A lot of people started saying that if Dwayne really wanted to protect Zaya, he would have kept her away from the spotlight, especially since she was still so young. And honestly, many felt they had a point. All that non-stop exposure brought in waves of nasty online comments, cruel jokes, and even some flat-out creepy behavior from strangers. It got out of control fast. To make things worse, other celebrities began speaking up about Zaya's coming out. and that only made the situation explode even more. The conversations, the debates, the headlines, it just kept growing. Fans kept saying that all this chaos could have been avoided if Dwyane and Gabrielle had focused on protecting Zaya's privacy from the very beginning. People truly believe that sometimes silence and privacy are the strongest shields.
Dealing with gender expression and gender sexuality, like we've had with our daughter. So God has given us, nothing happens by mistake. He puts us in this position in life that we're in, and it's for a reason. So we're out here on the forefront. It's our job to help educate.
Here's where things get even messier, because according to Zaya's mother, Siobhan, this whole situation might not be about family or love at all, but about money. She's claiming that Dwyane and Gabrielle are pushing Zaya into the spotlight not for support, but for profit. That's a huge accusation that sent shockwaves through social media. It all went down in August 2022 when Dwyane filed legal paperwork to officially change Zaya's name and gender. Almost immediately, Siobhan clapped back with her own court filings, accusing him of trying to use Zaya's transition for financial gain. In her document, she pointed straight to their custody agreement, which clearly states that Dwyane has to talk with her and get her input before making any major decisions about their kids' care, education, health, religion, or overall well-being. But according to her filing, that didn't happen. She told the court there were several factors that needed serious consideration before any name or gender change could go through, and she claimed Dwyane was already positioned to make money off those changes. If what she's saying is true, that means there's way more going on behind the scenes than anyone realized. But that's not even the end of it.
They are. But at 12 months years old, I believe that in order to not get your beat after school every day, in order to not be bullied and harassed, let's just get through high school. Not even 21, but maybe at 18. If you still feel the same way, then express yourself.
Siobhan had even more to say, and it's jaw-dropping. She claimed that the reason she believes Dwyane is trying to profit from Zaya's transition is because he straight up told her so. According to her court filing back in April 2022, Dwyane allegedly told her that a lot of money had already been made, and that even more cash was on the way, all tied to Zaya's name and gender change. That's a bold statement that left people stunned. She also said that Dwyane bragged about plans to make Zaya very famous through a lineup of endorsements, brand partnerships, and contracts connected to her transition. And when Siobhan asked him which companies were supposedly involved, Dwyane allegedly mentioned that various ones were already interested, and even dropped the name Disney as one of the potential brands. Those claims painted a whole new picture of what might really be going on behind the scenes, and fans couldn't believe what they were hearing. The internet went wild trying to piece together whether fame, family, or fortune was really driving all of this, but the drama didn't stop there.
Dwyane Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male, a 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have shit figured out yet. He's 12 years old. He's not up there yet. He hasn't made his final decisions yet.
I don't hate Dwyane Wade. I just feel that your business stay behind closed doors, and we don't need to know about how you are going to raise your child. But since you put your business out there, I'm going to voice my opinion.
Things got even hotter just days after Siobhan filed her court papers. Dwyane fired back on Instagram with a full-on clapback, blasting his ex for dragging his name through the mud. He accused her of making the situation about herself instead of focusing on their kids. In his post, Dwyane flat out denied that he caused any of the negative attention surrounding Zaya, saying the real issue was with people who refused to listen to or respect his daughter's truth. He didn't hold back either. Dwyane claimed that Siobhan chose to be an absent parent, saying she wouldn't communicate with Zaya's teachers, doctors, or therapists. He also made it clear that he never forced any identity on Zaya, and said every single thing he and Gabrielle have done was to help Zaya live openly and confidently. He even hinted at possible legal action if the accusations kept spreading, but fans weren't exactly buying it. The internet lit up and most people actually sided with Siobhan. They said Dwyane and Gabrielle have this habit of airing out their family's private business and then acting shocked when the public has opinions about it. And others took it even further, claiming that Gabrielle might be the real source of all the chaos because she seems to thrive on drama and attention. The whole situation turned into a full-blown social media battlefield.
Do that. We're here as guidance. We're here as elders. So it's the same thing in making a decision on your sex life or what you want to become. Now, once you've grown, And grown to me is 30. You know, some people say 18 and 20 is grown. No, grown to me is 30 years old. You have experience in life and you know how to pay bills.
One fan didn't hold back at all, saying, I never liked Gabrielle. I always said that she isn't acting, she's just being her old self. Turning another mother's son into that is wrong, and it wasn't her place to make decisions for a child who isn't even hers. I hope one day the biological mother gets justice and holds Wade and Gabrielle accountable. That comment set the internet on fire. Another person chimed in writing, "Mean girl Gabrielle knows that man was bisexual, and notice how hard she pushed to open up Zaya's story instead of letting the child share her truth in her own time." Phew, the takes just kept getting hotter. People online are split down the middle, some defending Gabrielle and Duane, while others say they've crossed the line with how public everything has become. But what do you think about all this chaos? Do you agree with DL Hughley that Gabrielle shouldn't be upset about people commenting when she's the one putting everything out there? And what about these wild claims that Gabrielle and Duane might have pushed Zaya's transition for industry gain? Sound off in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next drop. See you on the next one.